She secretly hated Charlton Heston, and the motive will shock you. Charlton Heston became born John Charles Carter on October 4, 1923, in Wilmette, Illinois, turned into an American actor whose profession spanned over 6 decades, and whose contributions to movie, theater, and even politics made him a towering determinant in Hollywood records. From an early age, Heston exhibited an ardor for appearing, which eventually led him to turn out to be one of the most recognizable and revered actors of his time. With a commanding display screen presence, deep voice, and bodily prowess, he had become synonymous with epic movies and large-than-existence characters. His role as Moses in The Ten Commandments, 1956, and his portrayal of Judah Ben-Hur in the Oscar-triumphing movie Ben-Hur, 1959, solidified his popularity as one in every of Hollywood's finest leading men. Heston's profession was no longer most effective defined through his container office achievement, however, also by way of his dedication to storytelling. Ancient and motion-packed roles. Charlton Heston's early years were marked by a love for the arts, particularly acting. Born into a modest family, he spent his early life in a rural part of Michigan after his own family relocated there when he became younger. His interest in theater started in high faculty, wherein he participated in college performs and neighborhood productions. This passion led him to pursue drama at Northwestern University, where he honed his acting talents and immersed himself within the international level performances. His early studies in theater supplied the foundation for his later fulfillment in movie, shaping his method to appearing and getting ready him for the diverse and tough roles that would define his career. After serving as a radio operator and aerial gunner inside the United States Air Force at some stage in World War II, Heston lower back to America to pursue his appearing profession in earnest. His submit-struggle return coincided with the upward thrust of television, which furnished him with possibilities to show off his talent in various productions. In the early 1950s, Heston transitioned from television to film, quick organizing himself as a serious actor. His early movie roles demonstrated his versatility and ability to portray complex characters, but it became his work in ancient epics that would ultimately define his career. Charlton Heston had become well known for his paintings in epic films, wherein his commanding screen presence and physicality made him an excellent desire for roles that required both power and gravitas. His step-forward role came in Cecil B. DeMille's 1956 biblical epic, The Ten Commandments, in which he portrayed Moses. The film, a grand retelling of the biblical tale of the Exodus, featured Heston in considered one of his most iconic performances. His portrayal of Moses, with its depth and moral conviction, resonated with audiences and critics alike, propelling him to stardom. 3 years later, Heston took on the position of Judah Ben-Hur within the epic ancient drama Ben-Hur, 1959. Directed by using William Wyler, the film became a huge vital and business achievement, and Heston's overall performance earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor. Ben-Hur went on to win a record 11 Oscars, making it one of the maximum adorned films in cinema history. Heston's portrayal of the Jewish prince turned slave, looking for vengeance in opposition to the Roman Empire, became praised for its emotional intensity, physicality, and the complexity he brought to the man or woman. The film's iconic chariot race scene stays one of the most memorable moments in cinema, showcasing Heston's determination to his craft and his willingness to perform dangerous stunts. Heston's ability to portray historic and biblical figures with authority prolonged past these roles. He persevered to seem in epic films throughout the 1960s, which include El Cid, 1961, where he played the medieval Spanish hero, and The Agony and the Ecstasy, 1965, wherein he portrayed Michelangelo. In each of these films, Heston introduced a feel of authenticity and gravitas to his characters, making him the move to actor for grand ancient narratives. In addition to historical epics, Charlton Heston determined fulfillment inside the technology fiction and motion genres, especially within the 1960s and 70s. One of his maximum memorable performances, at some stage in this period, changed into In Planet of the Apes, 1968, in which he played astronaut George Taylor. The movie, which have become a cultural phenomenon, showcased Heston's capacity to evolve to different genres and supply a powerful overall performance in a totally fictional and futuristic setting. His famous line, "Take your stinking paws off me, you damned grimy ape," became one of the maximum quoted traces in film records. Heston also starred in The Omega Man 1971, a put-up apocalyptic mystery primarily based on Richard Matheson's novel, I Am Legend, his portrayal of Robert Neville, one of the last human survivors of an international pandemic, pondered his strength as a main guy inside the science fiction genre. The film cemented Heston's reputation as an actor who could tackle a wide kind of roles from biblical epics to dystopian futures. Throughout the 70s, Heston persevered to seem in numerous motion-packed movies, inclusive of disaster films along with Earthquake 1974 and Airport 1974. His popularity as a field workplace draw remained strong, and his presence in those films helped to elevate them to industrial success. Beyond his profession in movie, Charlton Heston became a passionate recommend for social and political reasons. In the 1960s, he became worried inside the civil rights movement, marching alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the use of his platform to speak out against racial segregation. Heston's dedication to equality turned into evident in his participation within the 1963 March on Washington, wherein he stood with other prominent actors and activists in assist of the motion. Later in life, Heston's affairs of state shifted toward conservatism, and he have become a vocal advocate for gun rights. In the 1990 ES, he served because the president of the National Rifle Association, an RAA function that added him enormous interest and controversy. His famous declaration from my cold, dead hands all through an NRA rally became a rallying cry for Second Amendment supporters. Despite the polarizing nature of his political stance, Heston remained steadfast in his ideals and used his celeb to steer public discourse on problems he felt passionate about. In 2002, Heston publicly introduced that he had been identified with Alzheimer's disorder. Despite his declining fitness, he remained active in his later years, persevering to advocate for the causes he believed in and making occasional public appearances. He surpassed away on April 5, 2008, on the age of 84. Sophia Loren and Charlton Heston, legendary figures inside the film enterprise, crossed paths all through the peak of their careers. Both had been admired for his or her talent, air of secrecy, and large presence, but behind the scenes, things had been no longer constantly as glamorous as they regarded. A lesser-known but fascinating part of Hollywood records revolves around the strained courting among those icons. Sophia Loren, regarded for her splendor, grace, and effective performances, had a profession that spanned a long time. She worked with a number of the largest names inside the enterprise and changed into admired by using thousands and thousands. However, her revel in operating with Charlton Heston left a sour flavor. While fanatics and moviegoers noticed a cultured and dynamic pairing on screen, Loren privately harbored deep resentment toward Heston, a sentiment that became carefully hid from the public for decades. The motive for her animosity became each unexpected and complex, revealing the challenges and problems that could exist behind the curtain in Hollywood. To apprehend the root of Sophia Loren's mystery hatred for Charlton Heston, it's crucial to delve into their personalities and the context of the generation wherein they labored. Become recognized for his authoritative roles in films like Ben-Hur, The Ten Commandments, and Planet of the Apes, he often played stoic, heroic figures, and off-screen, he changed into equally commanding, with robust political and social views. Heston's dedication to his craft was undeniable, however. His depth on set and his every so often overbearing demeanor may want to rub colleagues the incorrect way. While many praised him for his professionalism, others discovered his dominating presence difficult to deal with. Sophia Loren, by comparison, had a recognition for being warm, all the way down to earth, and charismatic. She turned into loved not simplest for her acting expertise, however additionally for her colorful personality, which appeared to light up any room she entered. Loren, coming from a background of poverty in Italy, had fought her way to the pinnacle with grace and resilience. She had labored with a variety of directors and actors, navigating the complexities of the film enterprise together with her personal set of principles. Loren's approach to performing and lifestyles changed into a ways extra collaborative and congenial, which clashed with Heston's greater rigid authoritative fashion. The anxiety between the two reached its height for the duration of the filming of El Cid, 1961, an ancient epic wherein they co-starred, while the movie itself went on to come to be essential and industrial fulfillment. The atmosphere on set became reportedly stressful. According to Enterprise insiders and some who worked on the movie, Heston's demanding nature and controlling mindset created friction among him and Loren. He became reportedly tough to collaborate with, regularly dictating scenes and giving unsolicited recommendation about how others, inclusive of Loren, ought to technique their roles. This clashed with Loren's sense of autonomy and appreciation for non-public space, leading to an unstated rivalry. One of the pivotal moments that reportedly solidified Loren's disdain for Heston happened throughout a specially hard scene. Heston, ever the perfectionist, insisted on several takes, believing that Loren's overall performance wasn't as much as part. His critique, although possibly properly intentioned, changed into added in a manner that Loren found condescending. Being an established actress herself, Loren was indignant through Heston's arrogance and dismissive mindset closer to her talent. For a person who had risen from humble beginnings and carved out her personal space in a male-dominated, being belittled with the aid of Heston struck a mainly painful chord. Additionally, the cultural differences between Loren and Heston performed a vast function within the tension. Loren's Italian historical past and Mediterranean sensibilities contrasted sharply with Heston's all-American persona. Heston's rigid, nearly militaristic method to performing changed into alien to Loren's more fluid emotional style, which was deeply rooted in her Italian background. She found his method cold and overly calculated, even as he may additionally have perceived her technique as too spontaneous or undisciplined. This cultural divide most effective deepened the chasm among them, making it difficult for the two to peer eye to eye. Over time, Loren's resentment toward Heston grew, although she saved it hidden from the general public eye. As a consummate professional, she by no means let her private feelings interfere with the activity handy. On screen, they delivered effective performances, however. Off-screen, Loren carried a grudge that could final for years. It was a nicely guarded mystery known best to a few close confidants, as Loren failed to need to tarnish her public picture or seem unprofessional. After all, Hollywood became a small global and reputations had been fragile. The motive Loren secretly hated Charlton Heston may additionally shock the ones who've popular their on-screen chemistry, but it serves as a reminder of the complexities that frequently lie underneath the surface within the global of filmmaking. Personalities, egos, and innovative differences can clash, even among the maximum celebrated stars. Despite their expert success together, the relationship between Sophia Loren and Charlton Heston become one marked by using tension, frustration, and an underlying animosity that remained hidden from the adoring eyes in their fans.